And we're live. Welcome to Simon NoChaNoMa, Simon's living room. Hello, Peppo there in comments. Who else we got? We've just got Peppo, and one of the guests is actually in comments as well. Welcome to Simon's living room. Very special Simon's living room because it's quite early for me and for some of you perhaps also. But this has a very good reason, and the very good reason is three of my loyal viewers have very kindly agreed to be on the show. And they're all waiting now in the wings in Southern California, where it's dark, just as dark as it is here in Belgium. But I shall now introduce them all one by one. You may know them if you've been on the show, or if you've seen the show regularly. And here they are. Welcome to Mindys mom, Cobrat, and Night Rider's girl. Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, yes, that was an indistinguishable hi from, but we'll do individual. Well, I'll introduce them individually now so that you know who is who. When you see them flashing, that's who it is who's talking.
Flashing?
So, yes.
Wait.
when
you flashing.
when you see their avatar move, it's who is talking. So just for clarity, so there with a picture of the car and obscured is Mindys mom. Welcome, Mindys mom.
Hi everyone. Hey Peppo67, how are you?
And below her, looking very, very regal, is Cobrat.
Yeah, it's just the crown. Hi, everyone. Hi, Peppo.
And sort of having had her daily dose of coffee in the bottom left here, last but not least, it's Night Rider's gal.
Hi everybody. Hi Peppo.
Hey.
Hi Cobrat.
Hi girl.
Now it's like a Brady Bunch thing.
It's a bunch of flashes.
I see that. That's funny.
So, you guys have been following me, as it were, since I was. I think you sort of discovered me on when I was on Drew's show, or vice versa. He was on mine, or one of the two. When I messaged him, he said, "Oh, you've taken my girls." He said,
"We can guess.
We will not be contained."
I know.
So that's how you discover me, and that's how I discovered you. And then I noticed every time I went anywhere on visiting, not only Totally Drew's channel or Tabby Eats and Ice Munchies, and I kept seeing these names pop up.
We're everywhere.
They're everywhere. And then they were with me, and I thought, well, I'd better find out more about them, and we are going to do that today. I'm going to start asking you questions now. I'm going to pump you for information, guys. Oh, careful! Oh,
hey,
look who's here! Yeah,
Hi,
careful.
Drew.
Right, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
I'm going to pump them for information. They're going to give me all the low on Drew now. Right, who we've got? Oh no, questions. No questions for Mindys mom. Okay. So the first question is quite an obvious question, I mean, we see a car in your avatar, and we see on Facebook we see your face in your profile picture, but you have this name, Mindys mom, and we're all wondering who is Mindy, and are you her mom?
Yes, I am her mom. So Mindy is our little rescue dog. She's a Chiweenie, so she's part Dachshund and part Chihuahua, and we adopted her about 10 years ago. And when we first adopted her, her name was Hazel, and I said, "Oh no, I'm not gonna have a dog named Hazel." And she was a bundle of energy, so I actually wanted to name her Indy. My husband didn't like that name, so I threw an M in front of it, and I said, "Okay, we'll call her Mindy." And he said, "Okay, that's fine." So yes, I'm Mindy's mom, and I have been for a long time.
Okay. So Mindy, like in Mork and Mindy. Yes.
Yeah, Mork and Mindy. There you go.
So there we have it. We now know why Mindy's mom is called Mindy's mom, who Mindy is. Unfortunately, we don't have a picture of Mindy, but I could have done that, really. But I think now I will go and find out more about the other mod squatter, and that is Cobrat. Cobrat. Have I pronounced that correct? Because what is the origin of Cobrat? Why is it pronounced that way? Not in the way of the snake. That's the good.
Well, it started as I have a Mustang Cobra.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of it. And then I know it's really hard to believe, but I'm a brat. So,
Oh no!
right? I mean,
No, you're not.
can't even imagine. So yeah, so I actually have that as a personalized license plate for my Cobra, my Mustang Cobra.
I was
then,
searching, trying to find the make of that car. I mean, I should have just asked you. Like Google image search sort of the other night, and I came up with a Chevy Camaro, and it was completely wrong. Completely wrong.
Yeah, and then there's also a little character in Super Mario Brothers 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little
Very
desert
specific.
cobra, and its name is Cobrat.
So you identify with that like little snake.
Yeah,
Because
and then
totally Drew says Cobrat is evil.
I know. True.
and then it became my gaming name.
We'll get onto that later. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, right. Hello, Englanese. Englanese is in the comments from all the way from Yemen.
Hi.
Denise.
Wow, that's very cool.
Okay, and now the last mystery mod. It's Night Rider's Gal, and the first question to Night Rider's Gal, and everybody, you've probably heard this question lots of times from everybody. Are you David Hasselhoff's secret girlfriend? But otherwise, where does the name Night Rider's Gal come from?
No, I'm not David's secret girlfriend. Where it comes from is my husband is a retired UPS driver, and when he was driving the road, they don't do it so much now because of the cell phones, but truck drivers used to communicate through CBs, citizen band radios.
Yes.
And that was our last name is Knight, Knight. And his handle, the guys just started calling him Night Rider. And cool. Being that I'm his girlfriend, I was his girlfriend and now his wife, I'm Night Rider's gal. So people are always asking me, where's Kit? I have no idea. I never even
Universal Studios.
Yeah, I never even watched that show. I didn't like it, but that's where it comes from, is because our last name is Knight. And he always used to work nights as a truck driver. And so part of my email is Knight, Knight, and then shift, because he always used to work the night shift.
Okay. So it's all logical. It's all.
Yeah.
It's like I used to have a YouTube name that was very unpronounceable. But if you studied it, it was logical. Sarsimang 28172.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, very rolls off the tongue and got me thousands of thousands of subscribers. You've got to have a punchy name, and a Night Rider's Gal is a cool name. Yes, definitely.
That is a very cool name.
Yeah.
So back to Mindy's mom. Well, it's always back to Mindy's mom.
It is.
Oh goodness.
So this is a question based on the info that you provided for me, and it's: have you always lived in Southern California?
No, I was actually born and raised in New Mexico, and we moved to California back in 1978.
Oh, so quite a while.
Yeah, I've lived a very long life here. more time here than in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Aw, thanks, Drew.
An awesome woman. And you've met him personally, so he can vouch for that. So yeah.
Yes, I have been very blessed and have been able to meet him. He is amazing, as is his wife. They're both wonderful people.
I've met him. I've not met his wife, and I did get slightly drunk with him as well.
Cobrat.
Okay, so it's now back to Cobrat.
All right, my turn.
Now this is the question of the show.
Oh, God. No pressure.
Cobra T.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Can you hula?
Probably not to save my life.
Unfortunately, we just have to imagine. We just have to use your imaginations for this one. But drink and Simon is toast. Yes, yes. So, it was only one bottle of beer and a gin and tonic, and that was it. So I'm easy.
Oh God, here we go with that again.
So you can't hula. Oh well, I'm terribly disappointed.
No, I never studied that. I have a cousin who studied hula that actually does it very well, but yeah, didn't get a chance to hang out with her very long. So she lives in Hawaii. So
okay, we'll get back to that in a while. So it's back to Mindy's mom. So
oh no, what about Night Rider's gal?
No, back to Karen.
Oh, sorry. I told you.
It's the coffee. Trust me. He's not used to coffee.
I'm not used to getting up so early and having coffee. No, it's So also, this is a question for you, Night Rider's gal, based on the information you provided to me. I believe you were the only girl in your family. But how did that work for hand-me-downs?
Oh.
There were no hand-me-downs. I was my mother, she just bought clothes for me and my brothers. My older brother and I are like, I'm like 11 years older than my youngest brother. I kept telling my younger brother he was a mistake. When I was growing up, I told him he would, because I was 11 when he was born, and he was just, I love him to death now, but then he was just a nuisance, because he was, and because he always wanted to be with my older brother Mark, and Mark, my older brother, Mark and I are like 18 months apart. And so Mark and I were like already, kind of close. He was mean to me because I was his little sister, but and my mother always told him, we went to the same school together, and she would always say, you better watch out for your sister. You better protect your sister.
Pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, and so Mark resented me. So, but he even resented John, our youngest brother, even more because he was only, he was just a little kid. He was just a little kid, and Mark was like almost a teenager, and he wanted to do what Mark did, So, but so there were no that was probably one of the only perks I had as the only female in the household.
You got new clothes.
I got new. I was very fashionable but bitter.
Oh my goodness!
I like that. There's a takeaway from this show. There's the two takeaways from this show: Night Rider's gal, fashionable but bitter, and can't drag and drop.
That's a secret, Simon.
Oh,
Not
sorry.
anymore.
Okay, sister, I can't drag and drop either, so we'll be in this together.
Hello, Carlitos, and hello,
Hi,
Starjen.
Carlitos. Hi, Starjen.
Hi, Carlitos. Hi, Starjen.
Okay, my turn. Hi, Carlitos. Hi,
Carlitos.
Starjen.
He said we're casting hens.
Oh.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Mindy's mom. Sorry, it's coffee. God, I need some more coffee.
That's okay.
Okay. Now, also, based on what you told me, when did you last visit Japan?
Oh my goodness. Too many years ago. 1992. It's been a long time. I'm ashamed to say. But you know what? I spent 3 weeks there with my parents and all of my relatives on my mom's side and had a wonderful time. So I am 100% looking forward to getting there next year to meet up with Drew and crew.
Ah, yes. Well, there you go, Drew. Got time to get ready. I haven't been back since 2018, and it feels like forever. So it's yes, I do miss it too.
I have so many fond memories. I mean, I have relatives in Tokyo, Shizuoka, Yokohama, Ofuna. They're scattered all over the place. So
yeah. How long would you? Ideally, how long would you like to go for?
Ideally a month, but it's going to be about 10 days, I think.
So it's going to be 7 days of rushing.
Lots of rushing. Yeah. But you know what? I think I'm going to be really sneaky and not see my mom's side, but I will see my dad's side. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll have to block them off my Facebook pages and my Instagram.
Oh my goodness.
I have to figure something out. Otherwise, I'll be spending literally $2,000 in gifts to take over
yes, omiyage.
Right? Omiyage. Yeah, it's all about the omiyage. So I'll be taking omiyage to Drew and crew and, Tubby Eats and all my other friends. But yeah, I probably won't see my mom's side of the family. There's too many of them.
Oh, Stargen just woke up. Well, don't worry, Stargen.
So did Simon.
Yes.
Oh, Drew's gonna blackmail me.
Drew.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Cobra T. This is a similar question. Have you ever visited Japan?
I actually have not. I have never been there, and until recently, like within the last 2 years, since I've met Drew and I've met Shinichi, I actually wouldn't mind going now.
Of course, it would be so
yes,
much fun.
it's yeah. I mean, have you kind of like in your mind? Have you kind of booked where you'd like to go or anything? Have you been doing any kind of like sort of preparations?
Well, somebody's talking about getting a meetup together, hopefully next year, and we're hoping to actually go there.
Oh, cool!
Oh, that would be.
But
cool.
I have the same problem, Mindy's mom, as when we go to Hawaii, because that's where both my parents' side, their family's there. So going there for anything under 2 weeks is completely useless.
Yep.
So yeah, I understand that.
Okay, and now back to Knight Rider's Girl. Yes, here we go. You were talking earlier about sort of your life there, but you told me something about how your family came to California. Could you tell us something? Yeah, something about your his amazing history and how he came from Japan to America.
I have never been to Japan. Both sets of grandparents were born in Japan. And my grandfather, I only know about my father's father. I know that when he was 13, he by himself, without his parents or his siblings, he boarded, I guess he called it a tramp steamer, but my dad basically told me it was a cargo ship. And it would take approximately 3 months to cross from Japan to Hawaii. And the crew was they were kind of shady characters, they came from all walks of life, and they were kind of unscrupulous, and they would, so it was very risky for my grandfather to be on board as a 13-year-old. And but he got off in Hawaii, and he stayed in Hawaii for approximately 5 years. And he worked the sugarcane and pineapple fields to gain enough money so that he can come to California. And he came to California, and he was like, I think he was in his early 20s or his late teens. And he met my grandmother, and she was born and raised in Japan, but he met her there, they settled in Monrovia, California. I know you probably don't know where that's at, but it's
not really, no.
It's kind of close to where Cobrat lives. So, but they lived in, they settled there, and then they had 11 children, one of which was my father, and he was the youngest out of 11. And my mom and my dad, they met by way of the Japanese. They used to have church dances where only the Japanese would attend, and they met through a church dance. And the rest is my history. They got together. Yeah. They got together and married, and had me and my brothers.
Cool. Oh, that's amazing. So
that's a great story.
Yeah, that he did that at 13 and knew where he wanted to go, and and did it. That's amazing. That's really
his Simon. His most treasured possession was he was living in Monrovia, and he turned 100 years old.
Wow.
And he got a letter, a hand-signed letter from Johnson, I believe. It was President Johnson. And he framed that thing, and he put it up in his, on his wall. And he was just so proud of that letter that he got from the President of the United States.
Oh yeah, I would be too.
He should be.
Cool.
But,
do you have that? Do you have that? Have you inherited that?
I don't, because he still has children that I have aunts and uncles that are still alive, and I'm sure they've got it.
I see. Yeah.
And but he was a character. He used to take. They were like palm fronds from these great big palm trees, and they look like brooms. And he used to go sweep the streets of Monrovia, not get paid for it, but he would just sweep. He would just sweep the streets of Monrovia, and they show him. He's probably in his 80s, and he made the front page of the Monrovia newspaper, and it showed him, with his broom, and he wasn't a large man, So, but that was me, Grandpa. I mean, I loved him. He was amazing. Great. But
amazing.
So cute.
Yeah. Let's get back to Mindy's mom. She's waiting up there in the corner. So when we were setting up for this, we were having all kinds of technical difficulties, even me, which is it's what you do when you're on YouTube. And we were talking about how they discovered me and how I discovered them, and it's all down to YouTube. So my question to Mindy's mom is, when did you start watching YouTube, and what got you into it?
So I started watching YouTube approximately 6 years ago. It was when my son was still in high school, and I said, "Hey, do you want to go to Japan?" And he said, "Sure." And he said, "When?" And I said, "Well, it won't be until you graduate from college." because my husband was still working, and there was no way that we were going to be able to go. So I actually started searching, and YouTube came up, and YouTube took me directly to Tubby Eats. And so I started watching all of their videos. I would watch them for a very long time, but I would never comment. So once I began to comment, I really got to know Shinichi and Satoshi, and they were so kind and super engaging with their subscribers. And when they started to live stream is when I offered to be a moderator for them. And so at that point, I joined Nasha Broad and Aaron Uber and Kuroneko, who are already moderators for Tubby Eats. And that's how I came to find YouTube or Tubby Eats and YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nightbot.
Yep.
I don't know. Is Nightbot a real thing? Nightbot.
That's Carlitos.
All right. Hello, Nightbot.
Hi, Jackie.
So it was Tubby Eats that got you into YouTube. Yes, sort of.
Actually, it was my upcoming trip to Japan, which never happened yet.
All right.
That's searching for that took me into YouTube, and right from that point, YouTube took me right over to Tubby Eats. So yeah.
So sort of similar to how I was not looking for anything specifically Japanese other than a Japanese rockabilly punk band that I quite liked, so that I'd heard, and as soon as I put that in, and YouTube came up with all kinds of suggestions, and that was it. I went down the rabbit hole as this. So Cobra T, I've clicked on the right questions now. I'm getting better. By the end of the show, I'll be really good. So, I don't know. Is this an appropriate question? Where will you go for your honeymoon?
Oh, my fiance has always wanted to go to Hawaii for the honeymoon. So that's where I'm going.
Wow.
Oh, I skipped a question. Well, I'll ask you the second question now, because you're obviously going to go to Hawaii for your honeymoon. But from the little bit of information that you provided me about yourself,
sorry,
you're born and raised in California, but but your family originated in Hawaii. So, are there any differences in outlook and attitude and thing between Hawaiians and Californians? Who is the most laid back?
Hawaiians are definitely the more laid back. Yeah. There's a definite relaxation type of mood there where we don't really have that here.
I see. So it's I mean, can you confirm that, Mindy's mom and Night Rider's girl? Sort of, would you say that Hawaiians are sort of just like laid back? More laid back?
I can confirm that. Yeah,
I can confirm that.
Yes. There are no Hawaiian gardeners. There are no Hawaiian gardeners.
I have relatives on Oahu, so they're pretty laid back.
Yeah. I have a timeshare in Maui, and whenever we would go to Maui, all they were interested in was their buds and banana bread. Everywhere you go, they were showing you buds and banana bread.
I can tell you a story about how laid back my girlfriend's grandma was. We went to go visit. She invited us over for dinner, and she was going to make sukiyaki. And she pulled her sugar bowl out, and she opened it up, and I saw these little black dots in there. And I was like, black pepper. I'm thinking black pepper, and no, they were ants. And she was like, "Oh, that's okay." And she started spooning the sugar into the sukiyaki with the black ants, and I'm like, okay, so that's not laid back. I don't know what is.
Exactly, extra protein.
Right?
No, it's just something in the air. It's like, for me, and I never lived there, but it's like you get off the plane and that air just hits you, and you just relax.
Yeah,
it's like an instant thing.
It's just beautiful there.
Simon, do you mind if I? Do you mind if I ask Cobrat a question?
Go ahead.
Being that Japanese are so obsessed with being punctual And Hawaiians are like, when I get there, I get there. How, how does that, your relatives and stuff, how are they, how do they think about being punctual or on time?
Well, I'll use my dad for an example. My dad was the first person there and the first person to leave. He would be everywhere at least a half hour early.
Oh, shoot.
But then you take my sister. My sister is forever late.
So it doesn't stay in the family. It kind of sort of like one generation, it's all gone.
Exactly. So I mean, even the people who live in Hawaii, there's some of both.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are very punctual, and then there are people that are on island time all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it just depends.
I don't know who Nightbot is addressing here. I have no clue, but perhaps you guys might. Is musubi just spam onigiri? Be truthful. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
It is
rice. It's just spam and rice.
Wrapped in nori.
Yeah. Nori. Yeah.
No, it's actually quite
it's
good.
good.
People say
it's
that.
Very good.
Yeah, people say that, but
I like it.
I love spam.
That's what I survived on when I went to Maui.
spam buds and banana bread.
But now they're making musubi with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They put like Portuguese sausage in it. They put, so it's like it doesn't have to be spam anymore. And a lot of people put like teriyaki sauce in it. I put teriyaki sauce and furikake on it, so there's all kinds of variations.
That's
yeah.
Spam.
But you don't like spam, yes.
Musubi and spam. Oh, I love it. Back to Mindy's mom. For some sense and sensibility. Who are your favorite YouTubers? Now, you have to be careful here because some may be appearing in comments.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so my favorite YouTubers, of course, are the YouTubers that I moderate for. Mm-hmm. So that would be Tubby Eats, Drew, Totally Drew, She Needs These World, Eric Surf 6, Critical Eats Japan, Ice Munchies, and Tomoko. But the channels that I don't mod for, I love are like Nikki, Cobrat's channel, Kantan Food by Satoshi, Jackie Hero, her channel, Photo Look Hawaii. I follow this one couple in Seoul, Korea, Two Hearts, One Soul. I love them. And of course, your channel.
I was waiting for that.
But the only problem is every time you go live, I'm dead to the world because it's 2 a.m. for me. So.
Yeah, no, I wasn't kidding, Simon, about this being past her bedtime.
Right.
I'm sorry.
And no, Drew, that was in. Look at what Drew said. Favorites in order. You are up there, my brother. You are up there.
You have one more though, don't you, Mindy's mom?
No secret.
Or do you not mod for her anymore?
Who is that?
Weren't you modding Asagi's life or something?
Yes, I do mod for Asagi.
Okay.
But
right.
I can't get onto her channel because she goes live right when Tubby Eats goes live every Saturday night.
She goes live for me. She goes live at 4:00 in the morning, and that's just a bit much.
Yeah, I forgot. Thank you, Cobrat, for reminding me.
Yeah. So, Cobra.
Simon,
Cobra,
you call me whatever you want.
Okay. Cob.
I've been called that too. I've been called every which way you can pronounce my name.
So this is a similar question to Mindy's mom. I looked at your channel and I discovered that you've been on YouTube almost as long as me. But how did you discover YouTube?
I was thinking about that, and I went back and I looked because I forgot what the date was too when I joined. But the only thing I really remember doing, like before the whole thing with within the last 2 years. Everything before that was just kind of messing around, watching like music videos and that kind of stuff. So I didn't really do anything except for the last like 2-3 years.
Yes, we'll get onto that later because I had a look at your videos as well, so to find out. But similar question, perhaps for yes, this is. Oh no, it's a different question. Question 5 for Night Riders Girl, and this relates actually to the avatar image, your avatar image. You told me that you once owned a business selling coffee from a coffee cart, and that was you really loved doing that. And my question is, so did you ever use the flannel drip method? Would this have been too slow for your customers?
It was too slow. It's too slow. I did use a drip method, but I didn't use flannel. I used a paper, filter, and it does pour through the filter, faster through paper than flannel. But primarily my drinks were espresso drinks, just like Starbucks.
Oh yeah.
I would have my regulars that would come in and they would just black coffee or they would like cream, but primarily they wanted the foo drinks, like the lattes and the cappuccinos and things like that.
Never heard them called that before. That's good. Like
that's what they call them. Oh, you're gonna get a foo drink,
real coffee for real,
like Drew drinks. I mean, Drew drinks. He drinks like real coffee, like he would like an Americano and stuff like that, which is basically just espresso and hot water. And you can add cream if you want, but generally they don't. I mean, I had my hardcore guys too that I want 12 shots of espresso. And I'd say, no, you're not getting 12 shots of espresso,
Oh my God.
in a drink. And because I if they wanted that, I literally made them sign a disclaimer because I was not going to be responsible for them having a heart attack,
Right?
Because my coffee cart was it was permanently located inside of an office building, and there were all sorts of companies in that office building, anywhere from lawyers to medical office billing, to mortgage companies, and that's why I had to eventually close my business because it. When America went through the Depression in 2008, when the housing market dropped out, the bottom dropped out of the housing market, a lot of my clients, they vacated the building, but while they were there, it was fun and it was very lucrative because I was located. I don't know if you're familiar with the baseball here in the United States, but I was located in a building on Angels Stadium's parking lot.
Oh, that's handy.
And
it sounds handy.
They're a very popular Southern California baseball team. And so when the people that my clients, when they got a parking space, they did not want to vacate their parking space to go to lunch. So what they would do is they would come to the coffee cart, and I sold everything from energy drinks to bagel sandwiches, to bagels, to fresh fruit. And I mean, I sold everything, donuts, because they didn't want to leave for lunch.
So you had the market cornered.
Basically, I had a captive client. They were basically captive. I mean, because right across the street there was Hooters, there was Starbucks, there was a lot of really nice places to eat, but they didn't want to give up their parking space. So they stuck, but it was fun. And I know Drew said that he wanted to open up he wanted to do something with grilled cheese sandwiches. I mean, I'm totally down with stuff like that, because the only thing is that you don't diversify. You just stick with, if you do coffee, then just do coffee. Don't be like these lunch wagons that do everything under the sun. That's the only advice I have for anybody that wants to do anything related to food.
Stick with one thing
stick with one thing and have a small menu. That's key, I think, when you're in the restaurant business. And I like the fact that I didn't like brick and mortar. I didn't want to like a brick and mortar restaurant. Yeah. But
you look at it. I mean, presumably it was outdoors, sort of then, or
no? It was in the lobby. It was in the lobby it was inside, and it was in the lobby of. But my coffee cart, it looks like a piece of furniture, but it's on wheels. But it looks like in order to move it, I literally had to trailer it. I could not. I could not I could not move it. I mean, it didn't have like a license plate on it or anything like that. but it's definitely, if you don't mind hard work, it's fun, but not only fun, but it's lucrative. It's a lucrative business to be in. I miss it.
Audience, so people are making notes now in the audience. Speaking of food, that was a good segue. We'll get to Mindys' mom. Mindys' mom. I'm jumping forward with the questions here, but what is your favorite food? Because we've got food people in the audience. So and you all started YouTube, or certainly you, through food related programs.
Yes. You know what? Since I'm from New Mexico, for me, it's all about Mexican food. Because growing up, Japanese products were hard to come by. And whatever was sent to my mom from her relatives in Japan was used sparingly. And she would always hoard and hide all of the ingredients. And when she did bring them out, they were probably expired, but we never knew the difference. So,
no one.
So for me, it's Mexican. I can make anything Mexican from scratch. So my husband, who's Hispanic, is happy. He's happy with my cooking. So
it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Well, from the
Mark.
pictures that you post,
hey, Mark.
I would be happy with
Hi,
your food
Mark.
too.
Aw, sister, thank you.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, brother Mark.
So next question is for Cobrat.
You call me whatever you want, Simon.
Your videos on YouTube, and we talked about it just before. They all seem to be quizzes.
Yes.
And you never appear.
No.
But, have you
just like now?
Have you ever felt the urge to vlog?
Not appearing in the videos.
I've seen YouTubers who are always behind the camera and sort of not in front of the camera. So you could theoretically vlog and still be safe.
Yeah, and even the quiz or trivia videos is actually thanks to Drew, because that's where that got started.
I see.
Yeah. So it started as a fun little thing to keep me busy because I was bored and this pandemic we're going through. So I started doing that, and and actually, I mean, I I guess one of my videos hit an algorithm because it's doing really well. So
Sweet.
it's like
That's awesome.
shocked me.
That's
I was
great.
like, wow, okay.
I love your videos.
I know,
Well,
me
They
too.
thank
frustrate me,
you.
but I love your videos.
Well, the couple of them just come straight from my brain, so those are even more scary.
Oh
I
dear.
was gonna say it must be really time consuming to come up with all those questions and do all the research.
Right?
I would think that would be very time consuming. I'm
It
really
is, but like I said, that's kind of what I was looking for
Mm,
ish, because I was looking for something to do,
mm.
basically.
well, you do a good job, sister. You do.
Well,
I
thank
agree.
you.
I agree 100%.
Hmm.
Thank
So
you.
there you are. Everybody who in the, probably most people in the audience, sort of certainly sort of people that follow you know about this. But any of the remaining members of the audience who are my subscribers, go and check out Cobra T's channel. You just type in Cobra T and you'll come up with it, and go and do a quiz.
Get lost in a quiz. There are all kinds of different kinds. So
Okay, now Night Rider's Gal. I'm going to jump forward here as well in the questions, because we've been talking about food and hoarding Japanese groceries and things, and in my research sort of into the Japanese communities in California, there's lots of Japanese food shops. But are there any other aspects of Japanese culture in Southern California that you enjoy, that you sort of engage in? Because I was looking and I saw that there were matsuris things going on and that sort of thing. Do you engage in that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah. Well, not since the pandemic, we haven't had it, but every year, it's generally in August. If I correct me, sisters, if I'm wrong, but I'm talking about Nisei Week. Isn't it
August.
generally in August? Yeah, it's in we have an area, it's called Little Tokyo, and it's in downtown LA. And basically Mindys' mom and Cobrat and I were probably anywhere from a half hour to 20 minutes away from there. Oh, right. And they have a thing every week. I mean, every August, once a year, and it lasts a week, where they have a thing called Nisei Week. And it starts off with a parade. They have a queen and a court. They have a Nisei Week queen and a court. And there's parades and taiko drums and lots of yummy food. And you can go see the Japanese, the Japanese museum. It's basically about the internment camps, the concentration camps. And it's just all, it's just all things Japanese. And there's like, they have like bonsai trees that you can go, they'll and they have like competitions. It's just really, I know I remember one year they had a Rubik's Cube one about all the young kids, like who can do it the fastest and stuff like that. It was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I mean, it was amazing watching those guys. But yeah, my husband, who is a white guy, he goes shopping at these Asian stores. And he always tells me that he wants to wear, he bought a Nisei Week t-shirt and he wants to wear he wants to wear his Nisei Week T-shirt to go to a Chinese store, and I go, honey, you can't do that.
That's hilarious.
I told him, I said, they're not going to be nice to you just because you have a Nisei Week T-shirt when you're in a Chinese store.
They're gonna...
But they all look at him like there's this great big white guy. And because of the pandemic, I haven't been going. Normally I go shopping with him, but he's been going shopping by himself. And he's been taking pictures of stuff and sending them to me and saying, is this what I need to get? Is this what I need to get?
Yes.
And so, but these, you see these little Asian women and these little Asian old men, and they look at him like he's like, I go, you're just a great big old Hakujin.
Oh my goodness.
But I love him. He's great. I mean, but yeah, no, there's other things. There's a lot of, like, there's a thing called the Huntington Library, and they have like Japanese tea gardens, and there's a lot of Asians that settled, in San Gabriel Valley in this area. And so predominantly Japanese, but then over the years now there's a lot of Koreans, and there's Vietnamese, and there's Chinese now. So there's quite a few Asians here. So there's a lot of stuff to do in SoCal that's related to Asians in one way or another. But
so you've got the opportunity to do it. I mean, Englandese was saying Obon, so I was doing for things like Obon Festival and Hanami and things that you can go and actually enjoy those. Where you are.
Yes.
Oh, that's really handy. Yeah.
Well, there's no Hanami here because we don't have cherry blossoms, but they do have cherry blossom festivals at the various temples. And they're like carnival atmosphere. You go and you eat, like Night Rider Scout said, great food, and it's just for a fun weekend. But the Nisei week is a full week. Yeah, so, I mean, that's actually where I met my husband.
Oh, right. Okay. So he was there, and...
That's right.
That's a whole other story that we won't talk about.
So do you guys sometimes meet up at these festivals? I mean, because you said they're only like 20 minutes away, sort of like the little Tokyo.
Well, I only got to meet Mindy's mom and Cobrat within this last year, because I really went to YouTube at the beginning of the pandemic. Of basically 2020, 2019, the latter part of 2019. And I went to YouTube because it was by way of Tabby Eats, because I was looking for recipes, because I love to cook. And that's the way, and I lurked for several months, and I didn't say anything, but Mindy's mom, I got the courage up, and I commented, because as you know, being that I cannot drag and drop like you wanted me to, I'm not very tech savvy. So I was very leery about commenting on YouTube. And but I commented, and Mindy's mom was so inviting that I would comment more and more and more, and then we just we got to be really good friends.
Drew you in.
And I knew, and I got to know Cobrat the same way, and and some other mods for Drew.
Yes, I was wondering how I could maybe get Tamara and Nancy on, and Kuroneko. I haven't seen Kuroneko for ages, but how to get them. But I was just hoping that they would see my link, but perhaps they'll watch this after the event, hopefully. Yeah. Mindy's mom.
I was wondering actually why Nancy Yon wasn't with us today, but
yeah, you guys. Well, I haven't actually met Night Riders Gal in person along with
Ah,
Nancy
No,
because
uh,
I missed the
no.
last social distance outing. So
yes, yes. Now, my question to Mindy's mom is perhaps been more or less answered by Night Riders Gal. Is how long have you known Night Riders Gal and Cobra T, Mindy's mom? I mean,
Night Riders Gal I've known for about almost a year now. We've become super close, and Cobrat and I have been super close for a few years now. We used to meet up with Piper and Kuroneko, and we'd meet up in Little Tokyo, or we'd meet for lunch at Porto's, and we tried to get together every few months, don't you think, sister?
I think we were going for at least once a month or trying
Yeah,
to.
yeah, for a while. And then we would get together at Christmas and we'd exchange gifts. And it's just, I love these girls. I just absolutely love these girls.
oh, that's cool.
And now, because of you, we have a new name, so we can call ourselves the SoCal Mod Squad.
Yeah, we've been called anywhere from the SoCal Girls, Mod Squad, Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
Golden Girls. Oh my gosh.
I love Golden Girls. Actually, it cracks me up. But yeah, but they yeah. But it's because we're all like even Nancy, she's Nancy Yon, she's basically 20 minutes away. She lives in Orange County, and she's pretty much, she's fairly close to us, still a little bit further, but definitely within driving distance. It's less than an hour for her, to meet up with us. And the next time we are going to, by hook or by crook, we're gonna get Cobrat to be there too.
I know.
Because
Englandese has to go.
So, bye, Englandese. Thanks for being here. Take care.
Thank you for coming.
Bye, Englandese.
So, did you know, Mindy's mom? Did you know, Night Riders Gal, that Cobra T is a gamer? And that's my next question to Cobra T. Is do you still indulge?
I knew she was.
I do.
I knew she was.
Yeah, I do. Not as much as I used to. I started playing a game called Counter-Strike. This was a long time ago, and that consumed every single spare second I had.
Oh wow! Yes, this is dedicated.
It was bad.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I started out really sucking big time, and I actually got pretty good. And now I'm back to really sucking because I haven't played in years, but but I do play other games. Actually, I have a couple of short videos on my YouTube of me playing Counter-Strike, and then I do stream a game called Phasmo on Twitch.
Ah, yes, Twitch. Yes, that sort of rolls into the next question, which I'll quickly ask you. So, are you on any other social media? Do you do anything? I don't need to ask Night Rider Scal this because.
Oh my god!
But Cobra T, do you indulge in other social media?
Well, I mean, I have a Facebook, but as you can tell, I'm really bad with that. I do have Instagram, but that's just because I joined it when I first met Mindy's mom and Piper Rocks, because that was the only thing that I could communicate with them on.
Yeah.
I do post on Instagram every once in a while, but yeah, because most of it is just YouTube and Twitch, because I do moderate on both. So.
So yes, like the mod squad is everywhere.
Yeah, because I mod a bunch of YouTube channels, and then I mod some gamers, and my niece who does arts and crafts on Twitch. So.
So yeah, so it's yes, they're like all platforms. will be taken over by the mod squads.
I'm not on Twitter though, so.
No, neither am I.
Yeah. Yes, I wonder why I am on Twitter sometimes. I mean, I joined Twitter mainly because of my actress friend, Yoko Shimada. She was on there, and that was the only way to communicate with her at that time. But she's not on there anymore, and I'm not. I'm still on there. So, but it doesn't really seem to do much for me. Yeah. Coming up to almost the last question. Almost the last question. And this is for Night Rider's Gal. And it's perhaps appropriate, given the current situation. What, Night Rider's Gal, would you like to most do when the pandemic is over?
Travel and hug my grandkids.
Yeah. Yes. So we hear there's one person you're allowed to hug. In Dutch, it's called knuffel, which means to hug, and you're allowed one person who you can knuffle. So yes, I mean I hug my sons sort of when they go and they can visit Drew. Oh,
visit Drew. Yes.
So I could throw that question open to you other guys too. Mindy's mom, what would you like most to do after the pandemic is over? Probably.
Oh gosh, spend time with family. I haven't seen my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law in almost a year. And travel. I do want to try and get to Japan. My husband and I just booked our flight to Oregon for August. I'm a little nervous, but we'll be fully vaccinated by then. So I'll still wear my mask. I'll still social distance. But we're going to go visit our son because our son is going to school up there. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And Cobrat T, same question to you. What would you like to do most after the pandemic is over?
Well, first of all would be to visit my sisters here.
Yay! Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Yes, get married finally.
Yay.
Because that's been on hold for a year, almost a full year now.
Wow.
And yes, Drew, if you ever, finish with your travel details. Fine. You don't want me to visit you now.
Oh my
fine.
Oh, geez.
Okay, we'll go to Japan and not visit Drew then.
No, he'll come and find you. You just have to give the correct location. Yeah, I'm just thinking when he met up with his munchies, he was completely the wrong Megaro.
Well, my fiance is a huge anime guy, so
Akihabara.
there'll be a lot of that.
And Nakameguro,
yeah. He actually took like Japanese classes. So he can actually speak more Japanese. Well, I don't speak very much Japanese at all, but yeah, people will come up to me and start speaking Japanese, and I just kind of look at him and he'll kind of give me the gist, and I'm like, oh, okay. I just look at them and shake my head.
Seriously,
awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, he'll say something to me in Japanese, and I'll use my high school Spanish on him.
Oh my goodness.
Oh dear. Well, we've made it. We've made it, girls. To the end.
This was fun.
We could probably go on. We could do this again, couldn't we? We could go.
We could do this all night.
But
you can ask some more questions.
Okay, let's see if I can got some more. If I've got any, let's have a look. What have I not asked? Oh, right. So this is a question for all of you.
That's true, Peppo.
Very snickerdoodles. Yeah. I'm thrown off by comments here. Which of you? I mean, we've all been. We were all here before YouTube existed, and back in the day, there was just TV. So, but what would you now say is your favorite, YouTube or TV? Which is your after years and years of YouTube, and can you compare it to TV? Which would you prefer, YouTube or TV?
We have a 55-inch television downstairs in our living room that never turns on anymore.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got I have a can't think of the word. I have a box. I have a box, a black box under my TV that receives television signals.
A cable box.
Yes, that's the word. Which has not been on for about. That I haven't seriously used for about 10 years. So
we turned off our cable. It's been years now because we weren't watching television. So so we pay for Netflix, and he pays for Hulu and for his anime Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
So, but even if we watch any of that, it's on our computers.
Yeah. How about you guys, Mindy's Mom and Night Riders Girl? Do you still watch TV, or is it mostly YouTube?
Well, Sister, you want to go ahead?
I mainly watch Netflix a lot, and we do have our TV is on a lot, but our TV is a smart TV, but I don't use it. I watch YouTube through it. I watch Netflix, Hulu.
She doesn't drag and drop on it.
Disney Plus, Disney Plus Prime. I like we like the streaming channels a lot, but the thing of it is that my hubby and I we get in our lazy boys, and I was telling Mindy's mom we can't watch a series, even though we prefer series. Their content over like just an hour and a half movie. Because I think it's just edited better, when it's a series. But within 15 minutes, we're asleep. We're asleep. So I won't even go to a theater, like a cinema, because we'll be asleep in the cinema. And he snores so loud, we would be kicked out. Definitely.
That's funny.
Oh, Drew, yeah, I can work a TV. That's rude.
So for me, I still watch a lot of TV, but I'm on YouTube to moderate. So, and lately, because my husband had surgery, I've missed quite a few of Drew's live streams, but I try and get on as often as I can. Tubby Eats, I get on. But I still watch a lot of TV. And lately, though, I have been getting into Netflix because my husband does work movie jobs every now and again. So we try and watch the movies or the shows that he works on, that he can, of course, point out all the different scenes that he's involved in.
Deconstructs the film before you know it. So, right.
Right.
I met that person. I met this person.
Oh, my God. I can't watch like a cop show with him without him pointing out everything that's wrong with it. I'm like, I'm not watching TV with you anymore. You need to stop.
Carlitos was asking. There's a new bunch of people here, and I have to tell them about me.
Yes.
Perhaps I should leave that to the mod squad. Can you?
I'd
be interested. Curious now. Sort of tell your followers and viewers and friends all about me, mod squad.
Red wine.
That's it.
He can drive a forklift.
He has green chairs in his backdrop fake living room.
I love that. I just love that.
I did have a video. I better play you the video lined up because I worked on it. It's if I press play, I have a playlist. There we go. Please subscribe. I've stolen this video from somebody. I'm terribly sorry, but this is somewhere near you lot. I'm not quite sure where. Some beach or other in California. So I was going to have this playing in the background as relevant. So, but Carlitos, I've been on YouTube since 2010. I've been making videos since 2012, which nobody watches. I've been live streaming since 2013 every week. First with the two other guys, a Canadian and an Australian, and we did that for 5 years. And that's how I kind of met all the sort of YouTube people. They came on my show and eventually I went to Japan in 2015, largely because of my actress friend, but then I also met up with the YouTubers that I'd become friends with in various places like Tokyo and Shizuoka and Nagoya. And then after about 5 years of doing this live stream, the other guys had had enough, but I was still into it. So I carried on. I carried on my own, and I changed the name of my own private personal channel to something more pronounceable, only slightly more pronounceable. It's now Simon NoChaNoMa, and I have to explain to everybody what that means. It means Simon's living room, which is that sort of, which is this. This is the living room, like and NoChaNoMa is in the living room, and it means. Old Japanese for like a cozy living room. You don't call a living room. You don't call a living room now a chanoma, but you used to call it a chanoma, and it was a sort of and it's used now in Japanese television programs. And when that word is used, it means a cozy sort of living room. It sort of invokes that idea. I was told this, or I was assured that this was correct by a Japanese friend who suggested that title. So it's not something I came up with myself. For all I know, it could mean something completely rude and different. and I've been getting it wrong all these years. But yes, if you feel so inclined, I'm on every Saturday. Usually at an unfortunate time for you, as for those of you who live on the West Coast. Which is and that's why I'm very grateful tonight, Riders Carol and Mindys Mom and Cobrat for sometimes staying up at ungodly hours and watching my live streams. But for those of you on the East Coast, it's slightly better, and for those of you in Japan, it's in the evening when you're out doing other things. And in Europe, it's a rather pleasant lunchtime. Which is probably why you're not watching, having a lunch. But that's what I do. That was me in a nutshell.
That was perfect timing for me until the time change. Then it pushed it a little bit, so that's why I'm not here all the time.
One more hour, Simon. Let's see which lady falls asleep. So I'm very well
above me.
I'm very well edited. I'm very engaging. This is I can keep them awake for Bobby. Hello, Bobby, and hello.
Hi, girl. I'm challenged. There's no way for me to type a hello to you. I don't have that capability on my computer, so I have to say hi. I'm telling you.
No comment.
I'm wide awake. I can keep going. I don't care. I'm not going to bed anytime soon. Drew.
Okay. You're wide awake?
I am. I'm having fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've
for you, Simon.
You should feel privileged, Simon.
This is now the free segment of the show because I've run out of questions. I'll just.
Simon, I have a question for you. You say that your parents you're in Belgium, right? Have you always lived in Belgium?
No, I moved here 24 years ago. So I'm originally from the UK. Yeah. So
yeah. And that's where your parents reside now in the
Yes,
in the
and
UK still.
I
Okay.
haven't seen them for a couple of years either, and they've not, usually they come over for Christmas, or no, we go over there for Christmas and for summer holidays, and they come over for spring and for autumn. So usually I see them about 4 times a year, but obviously last year not, and this year not. So yeah, my mum is getting a bit sad about that, obviously. But yeah.
So how's your youngest son doing with the car and driving?
He's he's passed his tests, and he's now got himself a powerful little sports car. Well, not sports car, but it's a GT. That's 200 horsepower thing. It's like,
so have you driven it yet?
I had one go. I had one go when he was doing a test drive before he bought it, and I drove very, very carefully with it. But it felt powerful, more powerful than my old thing. So, yeah, but yeah, he's doing well. Yeah, he's quite happy with that. Yeah.
Well, good.
Congratulations.
Didn't I thought I heard you, or I read somewhere that he get a job also? He was looking at one of your sons was getting it.
Yes, he went straight from school to a job, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. He when he was at school, he was at an agricultural school, and he was doing his particular section was doing horticulture. So like basically plants and and whatnot. And they had to at the school they had to do placement during school for go and work experiences basically. So he did that a couple of times with the same company, which was a local council, and a position came free at this local council job, and they knew him, and he didn't even have to do an interview. They just sort of okay. So he got that.
Wow, that's great.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, my oldest son he's he's also working with plants. He's more into plants than my younger son. He's working at the moment voluntarily because the guy he's working for hasn't quite got his business sort of up and running fully. But he's working with a guy that does, among other things, medicinal herbs. So, and that's something that my older son is quite interested in. So he's working for him sort of a few days a week as a volunteer. But hopefully that will sort of morph into a paid job at some point.
Yeah. It's good.
Carlitos loves my glasses. So they're very old. I keep thinking, these are my new glasses, but I'm so old that I've had so many pairs of glasses. these are the new ones, relatively. I think they're getting on for about 8 or 9 years old now.
Does it come down to whichever ones you find?
Yeah, that and a very slight bit of vanity, and how much I'm prepared to pay, which is not a lot. I was lucky with these. These are my sort of like my 1960s Michael Caine type glasses.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Mm-hmm.
And we know all about vanity, Simon. So.
And why do you think this is what you see?
I couldn't answer Carlitos' questions about agricultural school. That is the sum total of my knowledge that my son went to agricultural school. And don't start asking me about plants or trees or. I have no idea.
Green's a good sign. That's all I know.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So what do I mean? Generally, what time do you stop watching YouTube? Because Night Riders, Gal, and Cobrat, you're sometimes there in the early hours. I mean,
I do sleep a few hours a day.
I generally go to sleep probably. Well, see, my husband, because he's retired, but he draws a pension, but he still works like Mindy's mom, uh, her husband does. He's retired, but he still does movie jobs. And my husband he'll get up like at 3:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and for you, I think now you're going, for me, you're going live at like 4:30 now, California time. Isn't that right, Cobrat? Isn't it around 4:30?
Yes.
It used to be 3:30, and sometimes sometimes I'll have to use the restroom in the middle of the night, and I have a tendency of I look at my phone, and I see Simon's live, and I,
oh my goodness.
Okay, so I know where you are when you're watching me.
No, that's after I use the restroom.
Okay.
I don't take you into the restroom with me. But no. But I make the mistake because I know you and I know Eric. Eric goes live right after you.
Yeah, more or less.
And I see I should not pick up my phone. I should just just use the restroom and go back to sleep. But I think to myself, oh, I'll just go in and hit the like button, and then I'll go out. And I'll watch for, like a few seconds, and then I'll go out. And so that it'll, I don't understand it, but it'll affect
I get likes and all that business.
Like,
subscribe,
and YouTube will identify it. And so I do that. But then I make the mistake of saying, "Hi, Simon,"
and that's it.
Or "Hi, Radri," or somebody like that. It's like I'm done, and then I get a notification for Eric, and then by that time my husband has to get up to go to work.
It's too late. I destroyed your sleep.
Yeah, that's why I was saying before the time change, 3:30 to 4:30 was perfect, because that was just about the time when I was starting to wind down and to go to bed. But 4:30 to 5:30 right now is pushing it a little bit. So it's like sometimes I'll make it and sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll have to get up early the next morning. So I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do that because then I won't sleep at all. So so when I'm not here, Simon,
you're asleep. That's good. That's a good sign.
But don't you take your blankie to work with you, Cobra?
Well, technically, since I'm working at home, you could say yes, I do.
You have your blankie with you.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. I could never take my blanket to work. They'd look at me funny there.
Just don't run over it. Yeah, just don't run over it with your forklift.
I know.
But your hours, Simon, they're pretty standard, right? I mean, you go to work. The time that you go to work and stuff is what is
pretty
it?
Much 9 to 5 kind of thing.
Or
I mean,
something like that.
Yeah. I mean, Mondays, Tuesday, and Thursday. It's like 8 in the morning, and then Tuesdays and Fridays. No, Wednesdays and Fridays. It's 9 in the morning. So it's not. But I don't work that many hours a week. So luckily, so it's it's doable.
Yeah. Well, I think Cobrat and I think we're kind of like night people.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm self-professed. I would think, I mean, I like it now, but I like getting up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning and going outside and like watering my plants, you know, and just enjoying the morning. And but before, when I was in my 30s, my 40s, my 20s, it was like there's something drastically wrong with these people that, you know, they're up and they're so perky during the day, and it was like there's something wrong with you people. I hated the day, you know, and
There
I
she
loved the
goes,
night.
describing me again.
I've always
Hi,
been that
Drew.
way. Oh, bye, Drew.
Bye, Drew.
Yeah, see, I'm that early bird. I go to bed early and I wake up early. To me, it's like if I don't wake up early in the morning, then I feel like I'm missing out on the day. Like I'm missing out on something. So I'm up generally anywhere between 4:30 and 5:30 every morning.
You're afraid of missing a lot.
No, because I'm not kidding when I'm in bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Typically, I'm asleep by 9:15. I'm that person. But I used to, that goes way back to when I used to work. I used to have to commute, 40 miles.
Night, Jackie.
One way, so I would have to get onto the freeway system at 4:30 in the morning every morning. So I'd have to get up at 3:30.
It's like built in now. It
is for 27 years of that. You can't change that.
Well, that never worked for me. When ever since I was 17, I worked in a grocery store, and in my mid-20s and late 20s, it's like there was a time when I was working at 4 a.m. and I'm a night person, so I would go in and I'm like this at work, and my backup would come in all groggy and pissed off, and people would say hi to her, and she would like yell profanities at them, and
oh my god,
and so
god,
the night crew would ask, how come I'm so nice in the mornings? I must be a nice morning person. I said, no. I said half the time I haven't gone to bed yet.
Right? I haven't gone to bed yet.
I said, and the other half of the time I said, I'm just conscious. I said, because the way I looked at it is, by the time I actually woke up, my shift was over and I could go home.
Yes, fully focused on the job. Yeah.
Exactly. It wasn't an important job. I was just in charge of all the money of the store.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh. So you have you ever had an occasion where when you till up at the end of the day and it doesn't tally, and then you think, oh God.
Actually, at that point, everything was pretty automatic.
Lucky,
it was just going over the same process the day, day after day after day, and then if something was missing, you kind of look at the amount of what was missing, and then you kind of know where to look for it. So
Yeah.
I used to do that. I used to work in there. Yeah. I would sometimes. Sorry, I dropped the mic. I have to unscrew this thing and push. There we go.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
I could have got this on backwards. If I don't sound right, I've got it on.
Funny, you don't sound backwards.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I can't see. It actually has a little arrow and it says back. I have got it on backwards. I have to turn it round.
Oh my word.
No, that's better. I should sound better now. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. It's the coffee is running out. It's just worked out.
Breathe.
I should be at a loss now. Because usually I mooch about all morning and then get ready for my show. And now I've done my show, so I'll have to mooch about
For the rest of the day.
Wonder what I'm going to do. I think we might have come to a natural end.
Now that the mic is on the right way, come on,
Right.
Simon.
Yes. I have no idea what I'm going to do next week.
Yeah, Bobby, I don't know
Right,
if we're like
Bobby?
making him nervous or what.
Take care, Peppo. Good night.
Okay.
Bye, Peppo.
Thanks, Peppo.
Good night.
All right. Well, thank you all, Mindy's mom, Night Rider's gal, Cobra T, for joining me.
Well, thank you for having us.
And
Yeah,
it's
this
been
was fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed this. We should do this again. and
I'm game.
to all
I'm
those
game.
watching on the replay, now you know what they sound like anyway. But Shinichi, if you're watching, and Eyes Munches, if you're watching, you know what they look like anyway, so you've seen them. And Drew knows what they look like, and Eric, if you watch this on the replay, you know what they look like as well. So, but for the rest of you, that's the Mystery Mod Squad, and they will always.
I always miss Eric's. His is right in the when I'm sleeping time.
Nah.
Yeah, I haven't been on Eric's in a while either.
Yes, I sometimes I just catch it. I'm a moderator. I don't know what I do. I've never moderated, but I am a moderator there. So I have a spanner. But, sometimes I manage to get over there. But that's it for this week on the Simon NoChaNoMa channel. Next week, as I said, I might, if the weather's fine, I might go to the Japanese garden. It's no promise. There's a Japanese garden here in Belgium that does a hanami thing with the cherry blossoms, and they're kind of out now. But I have to book it and everything because of the pandemic and so forth. So I shall see about that. So
I
that
like
could
your
be
outdoor videos.
Yeah, I do too. I like it when you go out and about. I like that.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it gives
I'll
a
try
little
and.
idea of what Belgium looks like.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, if it's not the Japanese garden, it may be somewhere else. I may do an out and about video next week.
I liked it when you just strolled around your neighborhood. You know, when you were just walking around the streets
right
of
here.
your neighborhood.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
I really liked that. That was nice.
I don't want to get a reputation. There's that weird guy.
Oh man, he walks around with a camera and talks to himself.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Okay. Thanks everybody for watching, and those who watch on the replay. I hope you enjoyed it and managed to get through the hour and a half.
Well, thank you for having us. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care, girls.
See you
Love
next
you, my
week.
sisters.